Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and we've just had another massive update video from Jeff Kaplan. I absolutely love these videos. I mean, do you guys love them? You must do. I mean, this is like, it has to be one of the most open development systems I've ever seen in any game ever. The fact that they come out and they tell you what they're doing is fantastic. And in fact, you can see Jeff posting on the official game forums as well, usually with massive posts and loads of detail. It's great. It's quite good to go and use like a blue tracker. Google that if you don't know what it is, and you can find out what the blues, which are basically the moderators or like the dev teams or whatever, on the official Blizzard game forums are doing. And it's really interesting to watch the Overwatch ones. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is quite a major update, this one, because it's all about ranked, or mainly about ranked. So let's get into this, because there's a lot of interesting talking points. Obviously, there's golden guns, but we'll get onto that, and we'll get onto the way the rank system has changed in a sec. But the first thing Jeff spoke about is Spectator Mode. This is being worked on for both observers and broadcasters. Now, this really does need to be worked on. If you've ever watched any esports related to Overwatch, it can get a little bit hectic at times. It's very difficult for the person who's doing the spectating, so who's operating the camera, to keep their eye on all of the action. The best solution I've found to this at the moment is they generally give you a shot of all of the action. So from above, you can see all the heroes engaging each other. Problem with this is you can't actually see what they're doing from the first person perspective, and that kind of takes a bit away from it. Also, sometimes, well, I say sometimes, quite a lot of the time, the spectators will miss major things that happen, because things happen quick in Overwatch. So if Reinhardt earth shatters and like maybe takes out half the team, it gets missed, and then that is a bit irritating for the spectator, because if you see the kill feed and Reinhardt's suddenly got 5 kills, you're like, Jesus Christ, I want to see it. But obviously there's no way of like watching that back, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do. They haven't given any details, but I mean, it'd be nice to have some sort of like action replay system. I think that would be really good, because a lot of stuff happens. It'd be nice, you know, like when I've noticed in Overwatch when like one team tries to assault a point or push the payload and it gets completely pushed back and they all get killed. Well, there's a little bit of downtime, right, while they're still running back to the almost back to the fight, I guess, like maybe 20 seconds of downtime. In that time, they could show replays of what's happened. That would be fantastic. So we'll see what they do. The next thing is the ranked seasons are now 3 months in duration instead of 1. They used to be 1 month long in the closed beta. That was too short. All the feedback was like, in fact, it was the main piece of feedback about ranked. This is crap. We need longer duration. And they've given us that. What they're going to do is mirror the seasons in the Northern Hemisphere, but I did say they're 3 months long. That's not entirely correct. They're going to be 2.5 months long. And then for the final half a month, I think what they're going to do is just lock the ranks, and that's sort of the cooldown period to just get ready for the next season. So that's a much better change. It basically does exactly what it says on the tin. It's just longer periods of ranked seasons, which is fine. Now, competitive play, if any of you guys got a chance to play this, you'll notice that almost all of the time it went to a tiebreaker. Now, Blizzard know this. In fact, they say their statistics say 50% of the time a competitive game would go into a tiebreaker. Now, the tiebreaker would come about if the teams basically, you know, it was a draw. There was no clear winner. But it would be on a random control point map. And these would just go on forever and ever and ever, because everyone would start swapping to Winston, constantly jumping on the point, endless overtime. There's actually a video I put out on the channel about this, which just shows you like massive overtime. It was a really fun game, but it was like massive, massive overtime and competitive. And this was happening all the time with the tiebreakers. So what they're going to do now is a tiebreaker will take place on the same map that you actually, it was a draw on. So it's more of a fair comparison. Or like a fair, not a comparison as such, but a fair environment, because now you get a chance to play that map again and maybe do something a little bit different and try and beat the enemy team. So that's a good thing. I like that. Now, the other thing is the assault maps are getting major work, because they never get used in, well, they never get used in esports. I know I keep talking about esports a lot, guys, because esports is the high-end, ultra-competitive scene, and they never use Volskaya Industries, they never use Hanamura, and they never use Anubis, or very rarely they do. This is because these points, and Jeff has even said this, they're just like a flip of the coin. It's like you either win or you lose. But the worst thing with these maps is, most of the time, as soon as you cap the first point, and you've taken out the enemy team, you just steamroll the final point, and they don't get a chance to recover. So they happen too quick. It almost depends on like 1 or 2 team fights, and that's it. The entire map's over within minutes. It is a bit ridiculous. They don't like that, and they're going to change this, but they don't know how they're going to change that, and they've not actually told us. All they've said is they want the games to last longer, and I think they want more of a chance for teams to recover. So whether there's going to be some sort of different spawn points, there's going to be some sort of lockout where you can't instantly cap the next point, I don't know. We're going to have to see. That's going to be up to Blizzard how they change it, so we're going to have to keep watching to see what sort of changes they do. Now, this is the big, massive ranked news. the tier system is gone. Now, I thought they were going to keep this. So the tier system was like the Challenger, you know, Expert, Master, or whatever the tiers were. You sort of went up to... In fact, let me just give you a quick recap of what it used to be in the closed beta. You would go into a tier. So you'd start off at Challenger. Then let's say you worked your way up to Master. You would always be in Master, and you would be Master rank, and that would be it. You know, what that meant, we don't know compared to other Master players. I think there was a diamond system, so you could get extra diamonds, so you were sort of advanced within that rank, but you would never drop. You would always be Master. You could say to yourself, yeah, I'm Master. Even if you haven't played the game for weeks, and then you come back to it, and really you're not operating at Master level, but yeah, you're still Master. That is totally gone, and this is out of the blue, because I thought they were going to keep that system, but you just sort of got demoted. What they're going to do is give you a skill rating, and this is between 1 and 100. And I presume 100 is the top level. Well, yeah, it must be. 100 is the top level, and 1, let's say, is the worst level. And you'll be able to see other players' skill levels when you play in competitive. You'll be able to see the combined team skill level, and you'll be able to see who the hell is in a pre-made. So you can moan and go, oh, but we're playing a pre-made. Or, you know, who's in little groups on the other team, or, in fact, on your team. This is, can I say this is Blizzard-like? I don't know. This seems really competitive, because I know Blizzard are not really a fan of wanting to like show people up, like, oh look, this person's not as good as somebody else, or you know, whatever, they've got a lower number and blah blah blah. But what Jeff says is, if you want to play that, then that's what Quick Play's for, and that's why that's what Quick Play's been designed for. Competitive is for competitive players. This is a major breath of fresh air, because this means you can really get competitive. If you're going into competitive, it's because you want to win. You want to get better as a player. It's not because you want to have a good fun time. Yeah, don't get me wrong, you can have a good fun time. I have a good fun time competing, but this is serious business, and it really is with what they're giving us here. This is insane. Now, this has obviously got some negatives, right? Because you can go down in rank. Let's say I'm 40. That's great, that's fine. I go on a losing streak, and then I come out of the day on rank 32 or something. I've obviously dropped in rank there, and that's slightly irritating. Now, I'm going to have to send out an early warning to everybody, ladies and gentlemen, because you know what's going to happen? Overwatch is a team game. In every single team game on the planet that's got a ranked system, well, holy shit, if your team does bad or you lose, it's not your fault, it's your team's fault. And there will be times where you join a game and there is 3 Widowmakers. Why? Don't ask me, but there will be. You need to just think to yourself, oh God, please no. Just take it. Just take it under the chin and, well, onto the chin. Don't take it under the chin. Take it on the chin. And, yeah, there's going to be rage, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm saying. I think even I'm going to slip into this. I'll try my best. Generally, what I do when I get angry is I just scream and shout at the monitor. I don't type it into the chat. I don't shout at people on your team. Because you've got to remember, if you get negative to your team, then the morale's going to drop, and you're probably going to lose even more than you are losing, or you've got no chance of recovery. But anyway, I think this is a good system, because it will be able to just say, like, what level are you? And we'll know straight away. Now, obviously, it's not going to directly relate to individual player skill, because it is a team game, right? I think a team of mediocre players would have a higher rank than, like, one extremely good player who was solo queuing all the time. Because Overwatch is a team game, right? If you've got a guy who's particularly good at making calls, like the shot caller, and he says, like, now, push now, or now use this ulti, or whatever, that's going to be way more effective than some guy who's the best Genji in the world. So there's going to be stuff like that going on, and hopefully, because you know, you can see people who you've played with in the past, and when you're playing in quick play games, maybe you get friendly with people or notice good players, add them as a friend and start forming your own teams. Even if you don't have friends that play Overwatch, I mean, you should have, because Overwatch is a fantastic game, but if you don't, then it's fine, because you should be able to find people within the game. So I think this is good. The last major thing we've got here, well, yeah, I guess this is major. This is the Golden Guns system. This came out of the blue. This is why it's major, because I didn't expect it. I just was like, oh, you know, the skill rating, as soon as he said that, is the point of playing ranked. You know, it's like, oh, look at me, I'm ranked 40 or whatever. No, actually, you're going to get rewards, and you're going to get cosmetic rewards, and they call this the Golden Gun system, because I presume it is just weapons that you get cosmetically. Now, this is interesting, because this opens up all kinds of things. What happens if they start adding different bits of, like, cosmetic items? Are we going to have hats, ladies and gentlemen? The dream is alive. But no, what Jeff said is, there's actually a really good Reinhardt Golden Hammer was one of the examples he gave. But they're going to give you rewards based on, like, what bracket you get to in competitive. I reckon this will probably be, you know, maybe 80 to 90, 90 to 100, 50 to 60, you know, up in tens. Whatever bracket you get into, whatever sort of tier within the skill rating system you get to. You get a reward for something, for some hero. Maybe, I don't know how they're going to distribute the rewards out, but because there's so many heroes, what happens if you don't play Reinhardt, but you get a golden Reinhardt hammer? That'll be a bit like, well, great, I've got a golden hammer for somebody I never play. I mean, you should play all the heroes, ladies and gentlemen, but obviously, when you play competitive, you will be like, I mean, for me, if I play competitive, if I have to play support, it'll be Lucio, 100% all of the time, because I'm quite good with him. If it's damage, it'll be Soldier, it'll be McCree, or Widowmaker, because yes, she is damage, even though she's class of defense. Or if I need to play a tank, it'll be Zarya or Reinhardt. So for me, that would be where I would go, because I know I am better with those heroes, like, compared to the other heroes in those categories. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this actually gets done. But what they've said is there will be like top tier rewards. So if you're like that are rare, and I fucking love this. A lot of you guys probably don't know this, but I've got quite a big game in history with a game called EverQuest 2, and I was in a raid guild for that, and it was one of the best raid guilds in the world. And it was such a great feeling to have like that item, that piece of loot that you knew only a certain number of people in the world actually had, because you were playing at the highest level. I mean, I guess for you guys who play World of Warcraft, the same sort of thing, where you would have got various like epic or legendary loots, like the what are they, the Glaives of Azeroth, or, you know, the things that I was going to say the things that Lucio's got. It's not Lucio. He's the guy who's got an expansion based on him, and he's a demon hunter, and I forgot his name. Illidan, that guy. Those were like cool, and it was like, holy shit, look what that person's got. They're going to put that into this game. So if you get to top tiers, then you'll have like some sort of item, which means that you are, my god. And when you play in quick play or whatever, people will be like, holy hell, that guy, I'm loving that guy's work. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's been a Overwatch news video on the rank system. This seems to be a fantastic change. As ever, we're going to have to see how this plays out. What Jeff did say, though, is there is scope to change this. I mean, this is not set in stone. This has been radically changed since the open beta. If this doesn't work, you know, if this is too toxic or whatever, then I see them changing it. But we'll have to see, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I've been Stylosa. Let me know what you think about all of this news in the comments below. Like I keep saying, you guys are the best for leaving comments and having discussions in the comments. In fact, I like reading through the comments section on the videos now on YouTube. It's awesome. People moan about their YouTube channels and say they've got bad comment sections. Well, not this one, ladies and gentlemen. As fantastic. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. And I've been Stylosa. And I'll catch you next time, guys. Toodaloo.